We got Ball Golf TV about discs and twigs and things. We got Ball Golf TV about discs and twigs and things. We got Grab Another Seat, Chris Wobble greeting me on the Ball Golf TV show.
About disc golf.
Welcome to the special backyard episode of Ball Golf TV. We got Nick Wood here, Washington State disc golfer. Welcome, Nick.
Hello.
He's graduated from our cameraman. He started out as the cameraman, and now he's full-fledged episode. What are we on?
Five?
Four, five?
4 or 5?
Episode 4.5. So let's get started. Nick, how long have you been playing golf, and how did you get started?
I've been playing since about 2009 or so. That's when I started playing about tournaments. I went a couple times with a good friend Paul Huggett in West Virginia, and in Illinois he showed me how to throw and showed me a couple courses. And it wasn't until that was early 2000. It wasn't until later 2000s when I really started getting into it, though.
Okay. So you've been playing since then. When did you start playing professionally?
I started professionally just last year. 2014 was my breakout year of all pro tournaments, accepted cash. And yeah, this year's been a lot better than last year, and I look forward to doing even better next year.
Yeah, good deal. So this year, you just played the Fort Steilacoom Open A tier.
Mm-hmm.
You got to play on the lead card for 2 of the rounds?
Yeah, 2 of the rounds.
And then the final night.
And the final night, yeah.
And the final night. Got to play with some big name players. How was that experience for you?
That was amazing. That was definitely the highlight of my disc golf career so far. Got to play with Wysocki, number 2, I believe, in the world. Got to play with him all the rounds. That was a lot of fun. Really cool watching, that top-notch level of play while playing with them. It was amazing playing with all those top-level guys. It always is.
Yeah. See them on the videos and get to play with them.
Exactly.
Nice. Okay. So before you played disc golf competitively, you were a professional skateboarder.
I was semi-pro. I didn't have any pro models. I didn't get paid big bucks or anything, but I did have some sponsors, good enough sponsors to where I got to travel, and they paid for everything, and got to have a lot of fun traveling with skateboarding.
Nice. So traveled just through the U.S. Did you go outside of the U.S.?
I went to Canada quite often. Lots of big tournaments there in the 90s. There was a big tournament, Slam City Jam, up there, and they would have a big amateur contest down here in Seattle. And one year, that was my big year, as I ended up winning a best trick contest and got picked up by Ezekiel Clothing, and that was pretty cool. Got to go to Canada and tour around a little bit, so that was pretty cool.
And then you broke your back.
I broke my back, I broke my ankle. My ankle was actually what kind of halted my skateboarding career. And,
not a broken back.
Not the broken back. My broke back happened when I was 18, and that went for not the full amount of time I was supposed to be wearing the brace. I kind of just took it off and started skating again. It didn't seem to affect me until a few years ago when I hit 30.
Yeah, yeah, broken back, no good.
Yeah.
Okay, good deal. So let's give a good tip for a beginner. What was a tip that has really stuck with you through your progression? You haven't been playing for that long, but you progressed very quickly.
Thank you.
What's something that stuck with you?
Something that stuck with me is, I guess, I really started seeing the most progression when I slowed down. When I heard it enough times from enough people, that I looked up to, and they just everything. Slow it down, your run up, your putting, your body motion, so that you can understand the mechanics of the way your body's moving, and you can tell what needs adjusting, a lot better. So I guess speed.
Okay. Slow down, smooth and balanced. That's what I like to say.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've heard that a couple times.
Yeah.
So yeah, there you go. We are going to, since we're in the backyard, we're going to set up 3 mini holes. So we're going to play 3 mini holes, figure out who gets the box, and then same as every other time we've done this, we're going to play a game of bogey. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, Nick.
Thank you. one.
No?
Pressure.
Nick Wood. So we're gonna go over your putt. So first, what do you putt with?
Right now I'm putting with classic AVR. Nice little rainbow stamp on it.
And why do you putt with that disc?
Well, I like a stiffer putter. A lot of times the old AVR beadless AVRs aren't necessarily, but this one is. Otherwise, I'd normally probably putt with a Macbeth. I like the stiffness of it. I like putting with no bead because I kind of am a push putter, transitioning to kind of a spush putter, but I like to hold the line so the bead affects it from doing that. So I like the beadless.
Okay, little more straight, less overstable
Yeah.
than the beaded putters. Okay, so what? Let's go over your putt. Go ahead and set up. Walk us through one of your putts from beginning to end.
All right. Generally, I would stand back from my lie, look at where it is, get a nice straight line from the basket to my lie as I approach it, and I step to my lie. Try to kind of imagine a dotted line, imaginary line, just stepping to it and getting it set up to where it's perfect. Next, I take my athletic stance. The best way to find out your athletic stance that I learned from skateboarding is to just jump straight in the air and turn one way and land. And that's the best athletic stance. So the closest I can get it to that, from that, is where I try to go. So once I know I'm in my most athletic stance, I know I'm balanced the most, I know I can start thinking of the next step, which would be my grip, making sure I'm holding onto the disc the way that is comfortable for me. And from there, it's just the routine. I usually go 1, 2, 3 of just the practice at it. And then once I feel my balance again, I check a couple things, my balance, make sure that my arm's sliding up the pole. I'm usually aiming at a chain link low in the chains close to the pole. And a lot of times I'll try to think of it as that chain link is like a bottle cap that I'm trying to knock off a bottle. So I want to hit that particular link. And from there I just take a deep breath and try to put it dead center.
Okay, and you said that you like to aim low. Even on longer putts, do you try and aim low, or is that just the closer putts?
I do aim low because just recently I started putting with a little more nose up. Also has a lot to do with the beadless, getting it on that straight line. Kenny Clark had a lot of influence in me wanting to kind of change that and learning to putt it on that line, and aiming low allows me to have the nose up and know that I'm not gonna miss it high. When I try to aim in the middle of the chains or anywhere high, if I have that nose up, I have a tendency to kind of hit high a lot, but I have a tendency to not miss low if I'm aiming low in the chains because of having the nose up. Even if I miss here, I still got a good chance of getting it to go in. It's just something more comfortable.
Okay.
Aim low.
Okay. So your athletic stance, what are you aiming off of? Are you coming off of your foot? Are you coming off of your hip, your shoulder?
That's a good question. I like to, when I'm pointing my foot at it, I think of it as like my pinky toe nail. The nail on my pinky toe, I'm kind of pointing it directly straight at it, because once I get athletic, I feel like that's where my straight line is from where I'm reaching. So it's basically off of my toe. When I'm coming back with my hand, I'm not coming straight line with the pole, so I'm having to adjust from the side a little, so that hunched over a little bit gets me in line with the toenail, and then I'm able to come up off the straight line and keep it on that straight line up the pole off of the toenail, I guess.
Okay. And then that toenail translates up your body.
Yeah.
And then through your shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What is? Let's get a tip. A good putting tip.
Practice all putts. Don't ever just practice your point putts. I started off as a straddle putter. Nico LaCastro, had a lot to do with influence of how I first started putting. I learned to straddle putt, and thankfully you got to use straddle putts every round you play. I would say practice your other putts just as much as you practice your regular putts, because I've never played a round where I only had the same style of putt. Practice your uphills, practice your downhills, and most importantly, practice every day.
Yeah, or as much as you can, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I definitely like that tip, because when I had first started, I started as a straddle putter also. Let's see if I can actually record this. So I would start straddle, and then that would start to feel weird, so I'd go here, and then that would start to feel weird, so I'd go here, then that would start to feel weird, and I'd even go as far as putting my foot behind, and then work my way back around until I was even goofy foot. And then I'd work my way back around until I finally decided that I was going to be, at least for now, an offset. But I still, it's invaluable to be able to put my feet any way that I want to and be able to putt. Okay, there you go. That's Nick Wood's putt. So he conceded on the last hole of our mini golf. So I get the box for our game of bogey.
Sounds good.
Good luck, sir.
Thank you. You too.
Sourdough toast and a sky in the morning of roses and red dye 40. Our boards up doors, board a cult, rewind porkies, borderline Voorhees, porridge line more please. Pulled up like 100 blind Dorothy's, incorrigible, undermine authorities enormously. Sir, first words don't go in the top drawers, sky floors, taxidermy fashion, fox paws, and rock watchdogs from live at the cat climber, where I punt a fucking pop star into a trash fire. Pearls are clutched, pipes fall from the frozen, bystanding witnesses enthralled in the moment. It's a man ran ragged, a plan lambasted, brick heart, I trip the dark, fantastic, and often outside ollie gollygometers glow. Copy, it's gotta be some impossible joke. In chains when he out with the Navy crewman, it'll turn wildcats into lazy Susans with his angry tooth and a failing eye and a rope with nails. If it's bails denied with the goats in trails in his bacon covered in a gold rim grail in his apron just for occasion suppers and buying pockets of lances and land for a flying ostrich, bleeding butlers, deceiving hunters and dividing the animals by even numbers. Police are under the bridge demanding that I at least turn back into Rick Moranis. Seats slow back to my camper decked in a seafoam hat and some panther leggings. Scanned your settings like a horse I tried wash denim over iron on Springsteen. Pirates don't pick teams. Pick a wing and a prayer and a palm script sheet. Talk turkey over 9 days old split pea. This coke kid, the code, the clandestine. Intel sold to the man with the excise. Sex symbols, pants pulled chest side. Tape on his glasses, breath like a dead guy.
H to the MM, feet to the minnows. You know Danny Zuko and I'm leaving with Rizzo. Cage birds till she plead the fifth. And I pull out the jammies and I sleep till 6. Peace pills, pigs and the warden's laughter. And a refill fix for the morning after. Could be boring rapper, could be action film. Could be pushing up daisies or daffodils.
Aim for the ribs, play get free where you sit. Talking like it ain't what it is. Money over love, son, you couldn't button up enough. Talking like it wasn't what it was. King of the hill, ping ping ring in his bell. Talking like it won't be what it will. Swim with the krill.
It's going up to the top.
Straight over the top. Oh yeah, like Stallone, over the top.
So you gotta throw this one. And before it lands in the basket, you gotta make that one. However you can put your feet, but you have to start with a disc on the ground. You have to be touching the ground and then come up and putt. Kinda easy. Didn't even change the second one.
One nail in the coffin.
All right, Nick Wood, thank you. Appreciate you.
Thanks for the whooping.
Yeah, that's Wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah, it's your own backyard.
Yeah, it is home field advantage. You want to thank any sponsors?
Yes, I'd love to thank my wife and family, first and foremost. Born to Be Fly, Team Mothership, Meridian Disc Golf, Jason Waite coming up to see you tomorrow. Get well soon, buddy. And Chapsleeve.
Okay, there you go. That's Ball Golf episode, what did we decide, 4.5. Backyard Mini Golf Edition. Nick Wood, thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
We got Ball Golf TV about discs and twigs and things. We got Ball Golf TV about discs and twigs and things. We got Grab Another Seat, Chris Wobble greeting me on the Ball Golf TV show.
About disc golf.